everybody, and welcome back. Today I'm going to be making some Queso Blanco. It should be relatively straightforward because it only has 3 ingredients: milk, white vinegar, and salt if you want it. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. Say hello to Lucius Malfoy. So this is like many previous videos. You take the milk, put it in the pot, and heat it up to 185 to 190 degrees Fahrenheit. I think I chose 185. At some point during the heating process, you can add black pepper or whatever other seasonings to your milk. And then otherwise, you just wait for it to heat up. I have gotten into the habit of really speeding these up and cutting out a lot of footage because it takes me a long time to do this. Alright, my milk is at 185 degrees Fahrenheit. So now I'm going to add 1/8 of a cup of vinegar. It is a 1/4 cup per gallon, and I'm using a 1/2 gallon, so 1/8 of a cup. I think this will also depend on the brand of vinegar you get and stuff, because the strength of the acid might vary a little bit. But I'm going to approximate and just wait until the cheese curd looks about right. I'm just going to add a little bit at a time. I can see it starting to develop. I don't know if my camera is good enough to pick up on that. Looks like 1/8 cup wasn't enough, so I'm just gonna keep adding it until you see it fully curdle. There we go. And now it's ready. So I'm gonna let this rest for 5 minutes while I go get my cheesecloth and makeshift cheese press set up again. At this point, you can add your salt. I think I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon to this amount of cheese. And by a 1/4 teaspoon, I mean I am going to measure a little bit into my palm and call that a 1/4 teaspoon. All right, now that that is nice and mixed up, think we're about ready to start pressing. Alright, so I have my cheese here and I'm letting that drain for another second. And while that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and start setting up my makeshift cheese press. So first, I'm just going to take a kitchen towel and then a large plate, and I'm going to set that here upside down on top of the towel. Then I'm going to take my cheese. I should maybe let it drain for a little longer, but I think it's going to be fine. All right. Then I'm going to shape it into a ball. On top of the plate. I'm going to take a second plate that is the same size, and I'm going to place it on top of this cheese ball. And at first I'm just going to use my hands to gently press it before I attempt to balance anything. If you watched my paneer video, you will know that I tried to use a pot of water as a press and that went very poorly. So today I'm doing something a little different. All right, I think that is good enough. So I know that everybody that has subscribed to this channel so far is either a doctor, married to a doctor, or the child of a doctor. So what I thought might work is a bunch of medical textbooks. So right here I have Anesthesia 3rd edition, Cardiac Anesthesia, and Clinical Anesthesia. So what I'm going to do for the cheese press is take a book and put it on top. All right, for the first 20 minutes, I will just be using this one book. And then after that, I'm going to stack all 3 books on here and then leave it until it is at the desired firmness. I tend to like harder cheeses, so I'll probably leave it about 5 hours. From what I read, you can leave it anywhere between 2 and 5 hours, and that will give you the ideal texture for Queso Blanco. And we're back. 5 hours later. It is now nighttime. These books are on my cheese, and it is time to see how it turned out. As you can see, I have been living life here while this has been happening, so it is much messier in here than it was before. All right. Here is the cheese lump. Let's move that. And here it is. Queso Blanco cheese with peppercorns in it.
Go ahead and try it.
looks like a cut. Ooh. It's remarkably similar to every other fresh cheese that I've made so far, but I don't know, it's still enjoyable. It's still worth the effort. Turned out much better than the paneer, and maybe I can make some quesadillas with this. All right. Anyway, thank you for joining me this week, and I will see you next week. I think next on the schedule is ricotta, but we will see. I guess if anyone is watching this, I would appreciate it if you give my video a thumbs up. Apparently that helps get more people to watch it or something. I don't really know. Anyway, thank you and have a good evening. Got some bread.